Scotland in France. It's been 1999. Last win there. This was no exception to that recent rule, I guess. 32 points to 3, the French get the win over Scotland. It ended up being a pretty one-sided game, and some of the stats really do reflect that French dominance. I watched this game at the same time. This one was on about 6:50 in the morning here in New Zealand. I watched it at the same time as I watched a full-length replay of the South African game against the Argentinians. So I feel like for the most part I've seen the key points of this match. I may have missed a few things as I was watching two games, divided attention, but I'll go over some of the main points that I wrote down, some of the stats, key performers and whatnot, and you guys can let me know your thoughts at the end and all the stuff I missed. Initially I thought the crowd, because they were showing the build-up to it, didn't look that great, but in the end it seemed alright. I don't think it was sold out, but it seemed like a pretty decent crowd. Although the pitch was cutting up a fair bit throughout the game. I guess it's mostly a soccer ground, football, so yeah, it didn't seem to have too much of an effect on the game. It was just a bit of a thing. French got a try pretty darn quickly. Raka got a try on debut within 2 minutes. A nice little inside ball, and he just kind of ran straight through the hole. Made it 7-0, and Lopez got the penalty on 14 minutes, won at scrum time, so made it 10-0 within kind of 15 minutes to the French, and they were looking pretty confident early. Hogg tried to run the ball out of his own 22 and almost got away early on as well, so it kind of showed their intent, but it was at the other end of the field they kind of weren't able to get as much pay. Medard got the first of his two tries. In the corner, again, it was from quick ball. They missed the conversion, 15-0. Hastings did get Scotland's first and only points on 25 minutes with a penalty. Again, that's when I really started noticing the pitch was tearing up quite a bit. 15-3, and then Hastings was back in the action, but for the wrong reasons on 32 minutes. He got yellow carded for a deliberate knock-on. So, yeah, it wasn't the only game of the weekend that had a yellow card for that reason. 38 minutes, Aldrit gets a try from a maul and makes it 20 points to 3 as they missed the conversion, 5-0 during that yellow card period. But he was in the action again for the wrong reasons. He went off for an HIA on 35 minutes. And again, a few guys had head knock issues this weekend. I guess it's kind of part and parcel. But yeah, hopefully he comes through all right. 40 minutes, France. They had a scrum. Kind of, I think you're looking for a penalty try. They kept, I think, resetting the scrum. They were 5 meters out. I think deliberately trying to go for a pushover, but eventually they got free kicked for pushing too early, and that ended the half that way. So the French had like 62% territory and 58% possession in that first half, so it was pretty dominant. It was 20-3. The penalty count was 1 to France, 6 to Scotland, so under the pump a wee bit. Second half, Medard gets a try on 53 minutes. Again, great passing from the French. I thought one of the passes may have been a touch forward, or it was at best flat. Lopez went to Dupont in the build-up, and they missed the conversion again, so it was getting a bit costly. 25 points to 3. 60 minutes, Dupont gets a try, and I do quite like Dupont actually, so I was kind of happy for him to get a try, even if I was hoping Scotland would score a few more points. Pinot burst I think 2 tackles in the lead up, and he gave it to Dupont, so he's a pretty devastating winger, but Dupont was the one who finished it. 32 points to 3. Fofana on 66 minutes went off pretty groggy looking as well, so another guy who may have taken a bit of a knock, maybe needs a bit of time off. Hopefully again he's alright. 70 minutes, Scotland attacked for quite a long time. Phases, I was kind of flicking between the two games, like Scotland's still attacking, what's going on here? Scotland are still attacking. Eventually they had a maul and then they knocked it on, so it was kind of disappointing. They couldn't get that try they really wanted. 75 minutes, France was showing some slick hands, man. Picamoles to Serra. But again, they couldn't quite get it done. But yeah, that was how it finished. 32 points to 3. Stats for the game: possession finished up 55-45, territory 53, 47 run meters, and this is a big one. 667 to Scotland's 346, so pretty dominant in that area. Tackling percentages, again, France, proper test match tackling, 89%, 124 tackles. Scotland, 79%, which is good for Super Rugby, but you need higher at test level. 123 tackles. So both sides making a fair bit of, well, having a fair bit of work to do defensively. Penalties conceded was 6-9, so Scotland's conceding 3 more. Offloads, totally one-sided. France 23 offloads to Scotland 6, and the defenders beaten 32-15 in France's favour. So Pinot, like I said, 115 run meters, 5 defenders beaten, had a stormer. I think he had 2 try assists. Hastings had 58 run meters and 4 defenders beaten, so solid effort for him despite getting carded. Vaha Mahina had 18 out of 19 tackles, which was the best of the French. Jamie Ritchie, 26 out of 28 tackles. When you get a quarter of 100, that's a pretty good effort, even if it's a losing team. But not the best for Scotland. They still have a few warm-up games to go, so hopefully this is kind of shaking off a bit of rust for them, because otherwise people will start really focusing on that Japan game again at the World Cup. France, probably written off by a few of us in the lead up to the World Cup, but perhaps they're a bit better than we thought. If they keep playing that kind of attacking rugby, 32 offloads or whatever it was, I'll certainly be watching as many of their games as I can. But yeah, as I said, I will have no doubt missed some stuff. You guys will have to let me know your thoughts on the game. How did you think this went? Do you think Scotland will lift for the next one? And yeah, you guys have any thoughts? I'll talk to you again soon. See you later.